Welcome to Gratefully Yours Wine Podcast, coming from the beautiful downtown studio of InsideLowell.com. I am Jim Campanini, and this is my co-host, the wine butler, Mike Pigeon. We have Teddy Panos on the controls, and he's producing the show, and he's also going to be part of the show because today we're talking about Greek wines. And what better place to experience a nice Greek wine than at the Athenian Corner in downtown Lowell, run by our very famous Teddy Panos.
Absolutely. Now, was this more Greek wines or just the wine from Santorini?
Santorini.
Just that.
Yes.
One grape.
Santorini is one of the most beautiful islands in the world. You've probably heard about it. Mike and I attended a wine tasting in Boston a week ago called Santorini Volcanic Terroir. The island was formed by a volcano that occurred in
1638, I believe it was.
BC,
before Campanini.
1630 BC. Yeah, boy, you remember that fact. I'm impressed. You were awake during that.
Yep.
So it was very, very interesting. They had one person from who's an expert in Greek wines. She led the master class, which lasted about 90 minutes.
Sophia.
They taught, Sophia. She talked about the island itself, the wines, and then we got to taste several wines, Santorini, all whites. Now, and the grape is, I'm going to pronounce it. Here it is, Assyrtiko. But now we have a Teddy Panos, okay, who's Greek. Teddy, how do you pronounce the grape?
Pronounced Assyrtiko.
Assyrtiko. I like that. Assyrtiko. Okay, it's like him trying to say Sangiovese.
Yeah.
Okay, Assyrtiko. All right. So it is an ancient grape going back to the ancient Greeks, even before the Romans. The Greeks have a great wine tradition, and we'll talk a little about that. But first, I want to say, Mike, I just want to say that about a month ago when we went into Boston, okay, for another wine tasting, you were with me when I bought 2 hats, okay, for local teams, right? At the TD Garden Pro Shop there.
Oh, yes.
What were the hats I bought?
You got the Celtics hat, I remember. And you got a Bruins hat, too. You wanted one just in case they went all the way.
Now, did I curse those teams because they were leading in their series when I bought those hats? Since then, they both collapsed. The Bruins are out of the playoffs.
I think it would have happened even if you didn't buy the hats. I think it could have possibly happened.
But I felt terrible because those hats now are sitting upstairs. They're up in the closet and stuff. I wore them a couple of times, and I stopped wearing them because I think I was jinxing the team.
Well, have it embroidered above what could have been. That's it.
So I'm afraid to put on my Red Sox cap. What do you think?
Oh, I wouldn't let it bother me.
Yeah, because there are at least low expectations for the Red Sox.
If things go south, use it for gardening work outside and not a hat for best.
Okay. Well, getting back to wine. So what impressed you about that tasting that we went to? And that was at the City Winery, which was a beautiful spot, Causeway Street in Boston. What...
I don't want to get away from the wine itself, but what impressed me was the history of that island. Just formed by a volcano.
Yeah.
It doesn't rain there hardly. The only moisture the vines get are from an early morning fog and a late evening fog. There's very little moisture. Nothing grows there other than vines because it's porous volcanic rock, but it's still ash and pumice. That's it.
He's become an expert.
Well, I was astonished
He stood awake.
And people live there. I mean,
he was waiting for the sandwiches to come out, I thought, but that's excellent.
But that's what got me there. And then, they give us a grape that I can't pronounce, and I've never really, honestly, had I don't think, a Greek wine, so I didn't know what to expect. And when you're used to eating, let's say, peaches, and someone gives you a pineapple, it's what's this? So I didn't know what to expect. But out of the 11 wines they gave us, I think 4 of them I really, really liked. And this one here that we just opened, I sipped before we went on the air, and another good wine. So, boy, seek and ye shall find.
Yes. So let's talk a little about the island, which Santorini has become quite the place. I mean, you visit Greece; it's on all the cruise ship. It's the embarkation point. You have to go visit the Isle of Santorini. The Europeans go there, but now the Asians. Everybody has found this place. Where just think, 50 years ago, it was a hidden gem. You know, I mean, you could go there. You could walk the beaches. Not that you can't now, but I'm just saying it was less traveled. It was a hidden gem. Now it's become a classic place. And just from the photos, I mean, that we saw. I've never been to Santorini. You know, the homes built into the rock. 'Cause this island was volcanic. It's solid rock. So just think. Wherever they can put these vines, these plants, they plant them, and they're bush plants because it's very windy. So naturally, if you had the regular vines, they'll be just blowing, the grapes will blow away and everything else. So these are little bush vines close to the ground. And as Mike pointed out, it's an arid place. It's surrounded by the sea, but it gets little rainfall. So you say, gee, how do these vines survive, or any agriculture survives? Well, Mike, you said it. How did he do it?
Well, how did I do it?
How did they get how do they get the moisture to grow the vines?
The fog,
right.
moisture in the fog, almost like an insect would pull the moisture out of the air.
It's one of the foggiest places in the Mediterranean. Early in the morning, overnight, the moisture gathers, and the fog. Just think, it absorbs. These plants absorb the moisture in the fog. And the Greeks, you got to give them credit for innovation. They create these little straw baskets. It's not really straw.
Weave the vine right into it.
They weave the vine right into it. And these baskets absorb the water that gets into the soil. So I mean, it's just amazing, and it feeds it to the plant.
And it's really not soil, is it? It's just a rock.
It's like a volcanic rock and sand, because the whole place. Because one of the favorite attractions is Black Beach.
Yeah.
They talked about Black Beach, where the land is just covered. I mean, it's got the color of black because of the ash and all the other debris, volcanic debris. But what happens is these vines thrive in that terroir.
They do.
Which is unique, you know, to other, like Mount Etna has volcanic soil. Vesuvius, vines in Italy grow around those. But this spot where it is, and the island is shaped, it's almost like a semicircle with little dots around all pieces of the island. And in the middle is a big round bay, which the volcano came up and created. They call it a caldera. A caldera is this huge bay in the middle. So you've got this one big piece of island, and then all these little patches of island. It's, I forget, did you remember how many people lived there? It was like 10,000, 12,000.
I didn't get a number on that.
Yeah, but they do everything there. They have their, their vines, the little agriculture and stuff.
Yeah. I don't remember the population, but I think I remember him saying 1 million bottles of wine come off produced that every year.
Yeah, there's about, so you can imagine, there is one winery there, estate, the largest in the on the island, that has about 250 acres. But that is an exception to the rule. Most of these producers, they number about 200, have like about 2 to 4 acres of vineyards themselves. And there's consortiums or cooperatives. They band together to produce their wines and stuff. And they've really worked on modernizing and raising the quality. And right now, it's become quite a spot as a destination spot. But now they're building up a wine trade. Mm-hmm. And they've got these wineries with tasting rooms and restaurants and stuff, just like we have here at the Athenian Corner in downtown Lowell, where this wine comes from. Mm-hmm. So we're going to talk about, we're going to do this wine, but you can imagine the more we got into it, tasting the wine, the more you felt that passion, that enthusiasm for Greece. I mean, the wine itself expresses this place, this sense of place in the world, because all these wines have they're almost like from the sea. They pick up that minerality. You'll taste the almost the sea salt. From think about that fog that goes into the moisture goes into the ground. That's carrying the sea spray and everything else, and you get that nice sense of minerality at place. But the taste is refreshing. You have anything to add to that, Chief?
No, I was just wondering, that grape that seems to be grown. Is it grown exclusively on that island? Now, when you get into Greece, you have other grapes. They must have other grapes.
Yes.
From all the 11 wines, they were all that same grape. So,
But Santorini, 90% of the wines produced on the island are white, and most of them is Assyrtiko. Okay, but Australia grows this grape. I found out, and it's building up a big following down there because they love this, because it goes with anything that comes out of the sea. From oysters to octopus to sea bass. But it's a really good wine. Chicken, white meats.
Mm-hmm. And how about that other wine that we tasted, which the only ones that weren't white, they tasted like a port wine.
Oh, that was like the Vinsanto. Yeah, that's
my God, those were
it is the Vinsanto, the sweet. Teddy, do you have any sweet wine Vinsanto at dessert wine?
We don't have Vinsanto. Mavrodaphne is the traditional Greek sweet wine.
Yeah, very, very.
You said those were $75 a bottle.
Yeah.
But, oh my God, what a dessert wine! Unbelievable.
That honeyed caramel.
It shocked me because we used to drinking all the white, and then they hit us with those too.
Yeah, when Teddy comes out with all those nice sugary cookie treats and stuff like that.
Sugary. But
we should add some today, Vinsanto. But anyway, So it is quite a spot, and the best thing about drinking wine, sharing it with friends, is eating it with food and stuff, and having it, and then seeing the expression. But it really captures the essence of Greece. So this wine, this is the wine that they sell at the Athenian Corner, the Assyrtiko. It's from a fine producer, Canava Criso, hope I said that right. And this is a very, very fresh, a 2021. The thing about Assyrtiko, you can age this for 5 to 10 years, okay? A white wine that ages very well, and it's only going to get better. It's going to develop even more layered tastes, of complexity and stuff. So it's almost like a red wine in a white bottle. That's the heroic nature of the grape itself. It's been around for a long time. And the other thing about these vines on Santorini, because of the volcanic soil, these vines have never been subject to disease like we've had in America, in Bordeaux, and phylloxera, which is the disease that attacks the rootstock, and then all those vines have to be torn up and replanted. It does not feed in the volcanic soils. So Santorini has never had to deal with uprooting its vines. And as you know, as these vines get older, they produce less and less grapes, but they're more concentrated. they're really in demand because even though the yield is down, the grapes themselves, the extract in the grapes are more intense, the flavors, the aromas. So these are 60 to 100-year-old, these vines. So what do you say we get into tasting it? Tell me what you think. Oh, the smell.
As I said, I already took a couple little tastes, and I made my little notes from a seminar we went to, and out of the 3 wines that I like the best on there, this is number 2, 3 right there. That's a really good wine. It's nice, isn't it nice?
Well, I know it's
nice.
It's about 9:15 in the morning. I can drink this all day.
You can.
Go on the pat. I mean, it's refreshing. And when we were sitting here like this, you could almost the aromas.
It's very fresh.
Grapefruit and
That's probably because they're fermented in those stainless steel tanks over there. They don't use the 90% of them the yolk. They just stay with
a pure expression of the fruit. They don't manipulate it at all. So when you taste Assyrtiko, hope I'm saying that right. So what if you say Assyrtiko? What is the big difference? Assyrtiko, okay? You're going to get a pure expression. There's a lot of grapefruit, nice grapefruit, but it's there's other things in it. Lemon.
It's a good breakfast wine.
You can have.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It is. It's fresh
the
and
color is like it's a pale.
Very, very
translucent. Yeah, but what a taste!
It's very nice. It's very nice.
Just let that get into the back.
Yeah.
You get it back into these receptors at the back of your mouth, and it's mouth-watering.
You almost expect bubbles. You almost expect bubbles.
Oh, yeah, it's just a great wine. And you know what? That so I wrote on my chart here some of the main characteristics of Assyrtiko. Bracing acidity. Now, when I say bracing, we're going to taste this and go, wow, your lips are going to pucker and say, gee, isn't that's a different taste. But the acidity is not out of balance. It seamlessly goes and melds with that alcohol, so it doesn't give you that heat that says, oh gee, this is just too much. No, it's a great food wine because that acidity will break up the sauces or anything like that, and it's harmonious. It's very harmonious. It's got a stony backbone. That's what we call in wine minerality. The French, they have minerality. It's from limestone, from the vineyards that are grown on limestone, Saint-Emilion, the left bank there and stuff, and even in Italy. And then mouth-watering citrus fruits. Mm-hmm. Okay? Mm-hmm. And this is what makes that so well, because it picks up a lot of these natural nutrients from that island, where it's just a geographical phenomenon, really. And so if you just go online and look at Santorini, you'd be wowed by the pictures of it, these high cliffs. And what were you telling the story about the cliffs, the airplanes?
Yeah, the cliffs are so steep and so high, and you have access to those cliffs. You can go up there and watch the planes come in below you, landing on the airport. Of course, they're only 300, 400 feet coming into the runway, but nevertheless, you can see them come in below you.
Yeah. And what a sight! What a sight! Yeah. Imagine being above a plane, as it's coming into land. But Santorini has just some unbelievable landscape, and now they've got a great wine. So, what would you pair this with? Now, if you go to the Athenian Corner, you can eat it with anything. Okay, anything from the sea. They got great chicken, lemon chicken with potatoes, or you could have the chicken and tell Teddy you want lemon potatoes.
Or the rice, anything, yeah.
The rice.
Excellent.
Pork souvlaki, you've got that, right?
We don't carry it now, but we do make it on special occasionally.
Okay.
I didn't even think of that, actually. That's smart thinking, Jim.
Yeah, but Greek chicken with the little lemon and potatoes is one of the top pairings. I looked this up online. Naturally, oysters, grilled lobster with a wine like this, a nice acidic wine, fried calamari. I didn't think about that, but that was one of the choices. Well, that's that'd be fantastic. Now, Asian style sea bass. Asian style sea bass. So I have to find out what does Asian style mean. Do you have any idea what that means, Asian style?
I would think it would be with the Asian vegetables
Vegetables
over the
around
sea
it?
bass
Yeah.
around it like that. Yes.
Okay. But here's one that is really intriguing that the great wine goddess, my wife Mary Lee, can make. Asparagus risotto. Now, asparagus is a hard vegetable to pair. But anything with nice acidity, that's why Italian Suave goes with it.
That would be excellent with
it. This was one of the international dish recommendations for Assyrtiko, which was asparagus risotto. So that is high on my list at home, and we're going to try that with the Assyrtiko because
even
it's
a
just
seafood risotto too.
Yeah.
A little scallop shrimp in there with that'd be
anything.
nice.
They said anything from the sea. They
Excellent.
said this wine is made for the sea, and it almost reminds me a little of a Sauvignon Blanc.
Yes,
But
it does.
yeah. So if you to equate it to something that you might drink a regular Sauvignon Blanc, the only thing is it has a little more depth than Sauvignon Blanc. It's got I think a richer taste. Not that it's been oaked or anything like that, but it's almost like a full-bodied white. So I think you'd really enjoy it. So Teddy, besides getting this at your restaurant, okay, with a nice meal, which I recommend because this is definitely a wine you want to have with food, okay? And you charge about for this a bottle.
About $40 a bottle.
$40 a bottle. I think it's a steal. Okay. Are there any other places in Lowell around here where you can pick up a bottle of Assyrtiko?
Yeah, I believe Sophia's, the little food store on Market Street, I believe that they sell it. You can also try the liquor shop, I believe, out on Bridge Street, the Sunrise Plaza.
Sunrise
they have
Plaza.
a pretty good selection of Greek.
Yeah. Is that
Greek wines.
Maniatis's place?
The Miamis's.
Miamis's, I'm sorry. Yep, Miamis's. So you might try those places. But I think if you've never exposed yourself to the Greek adventure, but always thought about it, I think you could start with wine, and take a look, go online, just read a little about Santorini. You can even look up a Santorini wine, and I think you'd be fascinated. The history of it,
The history of it.
it's just it's a great wine. Anything else to add, Mike?
No, it's another good wine for the morning, afternoon, and evening. But I think a little cocktail hour, that'd be nice. So light with a little, even cheese and crackers.
Oh, yeah.
A light goat cheese.
Goat cheese, yes. I would not put a Gouda.
No, habari with a little dill. And
The fig.
That's
the
a beautiful
fig.
one.
Goat cheese and fig.
Yep, fig.
Oh, tell me, you had a beautiful wine at my house over the weekend, I think.
Oh.
Wasn't that you who showed up at my house with your lovely wife?
Yeah,
and
that came from the homeland of Italy. Yeah, that Teganello, is it?
Tignanello,
Wow.
2012, rated 98 points.
Well, the occasion suited the wine. Your birthday, your 71st birthday, and the wine was exceptional, as from your wine cellar.
We had a great
Exceptional.
night. We had a great
Thank
night.
you. Yeah.
So
Exceptional.
it's Memorial Day weekend.
Coming
you got
up,
Any, you got any plans for?
Stay off the roads. Stay off the roads. That's my.
What will you be drinking this weekend?
Oh, geez. If I have a bad weekend, it'll be the hard liquor. No, if it's a good week, we haven't planned a special dish for Memorial Day. Just haven't.
Yeah.
Just haven't.
Well, I just want to say, people, enjoy your Memorial Day weekend. Drink responsibly. My recommendation for the week is because we're honoring the valor, the bravery, the commitment, the dedication of all U.S. men and women serving this country, and the men and women who have died bravely in battle. That's what Memorial Day is all about. I think it's time to drink a good American wine, whether it's Cabernet or anything, unless you're at Teddy's place. Well, he's got American wines there too, so you can enjoy it. But enjoy the weekend. Have a good time with your family. And until our next show next week, may the wine be with you.
And here's to our next wine tasting as we venture out.
Salud.
Mm.